This
Poster.
conference will now be recorded.
Yes. So hope you people have been prepared with the images through using the Canva. Has that been done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good. So yesterday we were talking about the Google My Business. So when we were doing with the Google My Business, so we were prepared with the images, so relevant to our concept. So we had been created on the website called canva.com. So hope it was been helpful to you people to create with. So in case if you have any kind of clarification you needed or you want to repeat it with any process, you can let me know. Fine. So let's continue with the Google My Business concept. So the people who have not been understood for yesterday, I'll just repeat it for you people. So you can be able to create the Google My Business by going to the Google. So you can be able to type with the Google My Business. So the first link you can be able to click, and you can be able to click on manage now option so that it will start with your email ID. It will ask you to log in with your email ID, Gmail account, and then it will ask you to add with your business details. So the people who have already been created, so they can be able to sign in to the Google My Business from here. Okay, this is one way. And another way is if you have been opened your Gmail account, you can be able to go to this menu bar. Here you will be able to find an option called My Business. So click on this My Business. So it will take you to the page where you have been created with your business pins. So it will show directly with the home page of that business page. Suppose if you are not been created, in such instances, it will ask you to enter with the business name and other details. So you have to feed up with that information and you have to start to create with your Google My Business page. So in the first class itself, we have been discussed what should be our business page name. So what is our business name? What is our business category? And what is the business description? What is our business email ID? Then business website address. So with all those things we have been discussed. So the same thing we have been uploaded the information while creating with the Google My Business account. Once it has been created, it is going to show with the home screen in this format. In the future, when you want to verify your account, so what is the difference between the verifying and non-verifying? Can anyone let me know? So what is the use
So
of
if we verify
yes?
the business, then our business will be available on the search Google search engine page when people search for like say Digital Coach Academy. So the business will be visible if it's verified.
Yes. So there's the difference what you are going to get. Any keyword if you are going to use it, what your page content is contained with. So with that keyword results itself, it will show with your business name. Whereas when you are not going to get verified with the account, you will not be able to find your business page by the search engine. It will not give you. So you can be able to start to share your business website address and the people can directly log into your website address. Okay, so thanks for the response. So let's see that what all the information you can be able to add with. So the first and foremost thing is info screen. So we have seen that we can be able to edit the content or delete the content also. So you can be able to click on this edit bar. So you can be able to enter with the relevant information. Then once it has been updated, so it is going to get saved over here. So anytime you can be able to change with any information. Okay, so make sure that you are going to complete with your profile. So incomplete profile will not be more visible when the people are searching with your content. Okay, so try to make sure that it is going to be completed with the profile as well as it is going to get verified with the business account. The next thing is, once after adding with the info, at the time of adding the information itself, you may be having an option to create with the service list. So you can go to the service list and you can be able to add with all the services which you are providing with, and also you can be able to enter with the information that what is the price ranges. So if they are going to show an interest with that particular services or with the products. So for me, it is not showing with the products because the reason what the category have been selected. So relevantly, if products can also be included in that services means or with that particular category means, so it is going to show with both the options. Suppose if it is only related to products or only related to service, then it will not distort with both the options. Okay, it all depends upon the category what you are going to select. Okay, so you can be able to add the price list for your services. The next thing is images. So as we know that we can be able to create the images infographics by using the canva.com. Okay, so you can be able to add with the cover image as well as the logo. So when you are going to check with the page, it is going to show with the cover. Until and unless you are going to verify your account, it does not show with the logo. Okay, so apart from this, if you want to add with any other images, so let me see that is it possible to get an images without any watermark or any kind of issues related to the images. So where can we download such type of images, which we call it as a pre-stock images? So that means there will be no kind of restrictions to download those images. What are the website I have been referred yesterday? If you people remember it. So even though if it is wrong also, it's okay. Let me know that. Very good. Thank you, Asra. It's pixabay.com. Is there any other website also have been specified with? Okay, so the other one was Pixels. It's not Pixels. It might be wrongly it was being considered. So it is pixels.com. Thank you, Ina and Asra. Fine. So we can be able to download the images relevantly to our business. So let me go to the pixabay.com. So relevantly to digital marketing. Okay. So you can be able to get the images relevantly. So you can be able to download this at free of cost. Okay. So let me select this. So here you can be able to click on free download. So select the resolution. So let me select it with this. Okay. So it has been downloaded. So the next thing is, so once you are going to upload with, you can go to the upload option, that is by clicking on plus mark. But here I want you people to make it sure that whenever you are going to add any videos, or either it could be with the images. Okay. So you, while downloading the image, you might be seeing that image is getting downloaded with certain name. Okay. So which does not talks about that particular concept. So what is this images is related to? Okay, so you can be able to rename this. So it's mandatory that whenever you are going to download the image, make sure that you are going to add with the right name for your images. Even this also will be considered for the optimization. Okay, so whatever the page you are going to add this images, either it could be on the social media, or it could be on any website page or a landing page. So anywhere, whenever you are going to add it, so make sure that you are going to, if you have been downloaded, either you have created images or it is downloaded directly from the free stock websites, but make sure that the file name, it is going to be with the relevant to your concept, what you are talking about in that image you are supposed to add with. Okay, so let me give this name as digital marketing training. Okay, so now I can be able to upload this. So there are chances that when the name has not been identified, so it is going to be that image name, it is going to be considered as a title of the subject when you are going to upload it. Okay, so at the back end, it is going to check with that name, and if it is found as spamming, so there are chances that the content over there, it is not being considered as an important to your business page. Okay, so these are all the background level it is going to be checked with. Okay, so let it be renamed with whatever the concept you want to convey it. So with that name, you have to rename it. Okay, so let me check now. It's been uploaded. So if you want to add with any kind of relevant to this category, if you want to add with any images, you can go to that and you can be able to add the images. Or if it is nowhere connected to any of this category, you can click on plus mark and you can be able to add with the images. So the next thing is, so you can be able to add with the users. So what is the use of this users? So when the people, when we say that whatever the pages you are going to create it on the digital platform, it should not be idle. So that means you are just creating for today. So today's Josh, so you are going to create a page, and finally you are going to touch that page only when it is found by someone, and if they say, or if you feel it that okay, I want to just check it out whether I am getting the audience or not. So you are going to add the content today, and another content, the next content you are going to add it after 1 year, either 1 month after. Okay, very nearby means after 2 weeks. Okay, commonly does this. Okay, so in such instances, your page will not be optimized. Optimized in the sense it is not going to be get visible to the people. Okay, so today you should be very much prepared that before launching any content on your digital platform, you should be very much prepared. Okay, so once you are going to bring it on online, so it's not possible to make the people to see your pages after 2 or 3 days if you are not active. Okay, it is not so easy to convince the customers. So if you are not going to add a content on regular basis, if you are not in front of your audiences on regular basis, then it is not so easy to get the targeted audiences or the targeted sales or conversions. It's not going to happen. Okay. So when you are feeling that you are busy, okay. So if I want to add any content, either the post or images, if I want to add anything into your website, so I have to log in with my username and password. That is, I have to go to the Gmail account. I have to open with my email ID and its password. Then only I'll be able to see my web page or the Google My Business page. So is it possible to give it, or is there anyone who is ready to give your email ID and its password? People are ready to give the email ID, but is there anyone is ready to give their password of their email ID? So is there anyone who is ready to give the email ID and its password in this room? No. Okay. So since we are going to have the confidential informations, so we will not be able to give our username and password, but the work has to be done by the person whom I am going to recruit for that purpose. So what I can do it is I can be able to give access to their email ID itself. Okay, so let us click on add users and see that you are going to have a email address. Okay, so enter that person's email ID to whom you want to give the access for, so that that person can log into this business page with their own email ID and its password. Okay,
Excuse
so
me,
I
sir.
can, yeah, tell me, ma.
How many times they can access to like you will give access for them to use our mail ID, right? How many times they can access?
No, no. See, here you are not giving your mail ID. You are going to added the other person's email ID to whom you are giving the access. So once they are going to be accepting with your invitation, then they can be able to use this page as many times they want it. So there is no limitation that they have to log in only for 10 times or 20 times like that. So they will be logged in to this page, but with their own email ID and its password, not with our email ID and its password. Until and unless you remove that person, so that person will have access. Is that fine, ma?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me give a email ID. Okay. So I have to select the email ID so that I can be able to send the invitation. But before that, make sure that you are going to select the role. So do you want to give the owner or manager role to that person? So if you are going to say that owner, so that means that person will have the same access what you have it. That is, that person can be able to create, edit, or delete the data. How you can be able to do it on your page. Okay. So whereas if you select with the manager option, so there will be only with the edit and create data option, but not with the delete. So I can be able to give the access. And also, if that person is going to be considered as a manager, so that person cannot create another user, whereas the owner can be able to create one more user and they can give the access to other person. Is that clear, Tilia? So let me select it as manager and click on invite. So an invitation, it has been sent to this mail ID. So the person will receive a mail. In that mail, it will be there as accept invitation. They have to click on accept invitation. So once they agree with, so that person's role, it is going to show it over here as manager. Okay. So they can be able to log in to this page with their email ID and its password. Okay. So let me click on done. So we have been seen with what is post. So yesterday we have been seeing that how to create with the post. So we can see with the general update post, we can see with the offer post, and in case if you have been part of any event, so you can create with the event post. Okay, so you can add the image and the content also. And also we have been seen at the time of creating the post, how we can be able to make use of the Google form. Is there any doubt in creating the post and adding the Google Forms in your post? Do anyone has any doubt on this creation of post process? Okay, thank you for the response. Fine. So once you are going to add with all this information, and you can click on the website option. So here it is going to show that how your content, it is going to be shown on the business pages. So let me select with. Okay. So you can be able to see with your cover image in this way. The post information in this way. So if you are going to add more and more information on your Google My Business page, so the more and more information it is going to display it on the page. So if you want to know that what is your website address, so you can be able to see this website address on the top itself, which it is going to show like this. Or in case if you don't found out, you can click on more option. So here you can be able to see with your website address. So here the extension which will be with .business.site. So my business name was Digital Coach Academy. So with that, if I want to add it as .com, then it is not going to be uh, given with the free of cost. It is chargeable basis. Suppose if you want with a free of cost website address, then it is going to be with the extension of .business.site. Okay, so once you are going to make confirm that your website address will be in this particular name. Okay, so there should be no in between space or with any special characters, or it should be with any symbols. So it should not be with any of these things. It should be only with the characters, text format, and it should be without space. Okay, so if you found out anything wrong, you can go to the update site name and you can be able to remove those things which are nowhere connected to your website. So once you make confirm that this is your website address, click on change option. So if it is found that the same website address is being used by any other person on this globe, then it will not allow you to accept with this process. Okay. So once you are making confirmation, so you can click on the right mark. So it is going to show and it is going to get saved on the top. Now you can be able to go to the view site option and you can check it out how your website will look like. Okay, so the more content you are going to add it, the more information it is going to show. This is one way and it has to be verified with. Okay, so let me go back. So this is how you can be able to create with your Google My Business website. Now, once after creating this website, so how do I know that how is my page is performing? It's not that you are just creating the content and just leave it on the internet and you are going to do your own job. So you have to look into it. What is the performance is happening through this business page? So to know that, you can be able to go to the Insights tab. So go to the Insights tab. So here you can be able to find it out. As of now, it is not showing anything because it's not verified there. So what are the information you are going to get it in the insights is you are going to get to know that how many people are visiting your page. So how many are liking your post. So what kind of post. So where do they log into your website? Is it directly they are coming to your website by typing your website address, or whether they are going to the Google and they are going to your website address it is going to show on the list. So from there, whether they are logging in. And what is the time the people are visiting your page? What age group people? What gender wise? So with all this information, the information which is going to be uh, shown in the graphical representations. So this is going to help you to know that how your page is performing, how the people are accepting it. So through what post you were able to get more audiences towards your website page or the Google My Business page. So you can be able to see all the performances information through the graphical representation. The next thing is reviews. So you all know that reviews plays a major role. Okay, especially with the place where we want to stay with any kind of resorts or hotels or any restaurants if you want to visit. So how do you choose it? It's going to be most of the time based on the reviews. Okay, so review plays a major role. So make sure that whenever you are going to visit any places or you want to give a review, you are going to add with your contact details with the Gmail, Google My Business link also, so that the people can be able to get connected to you. So this is one way. Then second thing is it is going to be helpful to us to know that how is our services. So try to make sure that you are going to give with the fuller services and you are going to get the feedback in a good manner. So you can be able to get with 5 stars, 4 stars. Okay. So whenever you are going to get a review, do not hesitate to respond to it. So you will be able to get the 3 columns in this report. The first one will be the review received. The second one will be review replied. The third one is review not replied. keep it with your review not replied as 0, so that all the reviews what you have received, you are going to reply to it. Okay, so the next thing is messages. So messages, it is going to be internally. So you will be able to get the chat box services from the Google My Business account. So when you are going to interact with your customer personally, that is with the chat box, so that information it is going to show it over. So these are the important things which you are supposed to take care when you are going to create with the Google My Business account. So can anyone check it out with all the steps what we have been discussed? Is there anything we have left out, or do you want to repeat it with anything? Is there any doubt till here what we have been completed? So if you have anything such like that, you can be able to raise the question. You can clarify it. By next session, I want you people to keep it ready with your Google My Business account, and that link, I want you people to share it on the group. Okay, so that will be an assignment, and you all know that. So even the assignment also, assignment mark also will be considered. Okay, so I request the people to get joined to the session before 5 minutes. That is, by at least 5:25, you people are going to get logged in. So that will be good. So in case if you people are having any other sessions, so that's okay. You can be able to log in at least by 5:30. Okay. So maximum I can be able to allow the people for another 1 or 2 minutes. Maximum up to 5:35. I can be able to make you people to get in. Otherwise, they will not be allowed with the session. Okay. So please inform to your uh, other colleagues also who are not been for today's session. Okay. So Ina, you have a question that how to add with the forms. Okay. So in what situation we are going to add with the forms? So let's assume that we are going to create a post. So let me go to the add update. So let me add one image. Okay. So let me take this. So let me crop this. Yes. So let me upload this. Okay. Instead of adding it in the what's new, I'll add it into an event. So I've added the image. So let me crop it. So till I've not come to the add forms. Okay. So let me, okay, I'll crop this. Fine. So let me assume it that, so there is an event is going to happen by this Sunday. So which is called as SEO Pathshala. So let me add the time. So I'm fixing the time also. I can be able to fix the time. So this will happen on 10th. And it starts from 9 a.m. and it ends on the same day at 5 p.m. Okay. So till now I added a content. Now, if I want the people to get connected with us, so what is the intention of this event? I have to give it event details. So SEO Pathshala is an advanced tips and tricks used by professionals will be shared in the event. Okay, so till now I've added just an information. Now, if the people has to log in or they have to get registered with us, okay. So event means I'm sending the invitation to the people. So here I'm not sending the email. I'm just creating a post. The people who are going to visit my website or the Google My Business page, so they will be able to see this page and they should be able to get connected with us. So in what way they are going to get connected with us? So I will be making them to use a link to get connected with us. So what does that link means? I'm going to add a button. Okay. So you might have seen the buttons like buy now, subscribe, or call now, contact us, add to cart. Okay. So like that, it is called as a call to action button. So here I can be able to select an option. So let me use the button as book. So when they click on this button, where does that it is going to take you? What is that information do you want to give it? Now, if I'm going to make them to just go log into a website and just see the information and end up with my information, so that means you are not going to make a two-way communication. So it is going to be just a one-way communication. You're just giving a link to go to that website. That's it. But always try to use the opportunity to collect the audience data. Okay, so it will be very helpful as a marketer. So how do you collect with that? Means you are going to create one Google Forms and you can be able to link it to this particular post. Okay, so let me go to the Gmail account, go to this menu, scroll down to the end of the screen. So you have an option called forms. So you can go here to the forms. So now if you have been already created any kind of Google Forms, then you can use that. But try to create the Google Forms which are going to be used for only for that particular purpose. Okay, so let me create one Google Forms by clicking on the plus mark, and I am going to give this form name as SEO Pathshala event. So I'll give a description that it is an online event organized on every Sunday. So now let me add this name as a folder name. Now, what is that question or what is that information do you want to give with? So I want to collect their email IDs first. So email address, Then I'll add one more section as first name. I'll add one more as a last name. Then I want one more section as address. Then I want to add one more column as contact number. So now I've created all these things which I want to collect it from my audience. So for this event audience, I want their information minimum of this. So in this mandatory, what all the things are there? So you are supposed to go for email address and make sure that you are going to click on required option. Okay. So like that, you make sure that which all the tabs do you want to keep it mandatory. Okay, whichever the tab you do not want to keep it mandatory, let it be required as off. Okay, so this is how you are going to create the Google form. Is that clear, Yana? So how did we create this? Okay, good. So once after creating the Google Forms, what you are supposed to do it is you have to create one tracking report for it. So go to the responses and you have an option called to create a spreadsheet. So click on this and create a spreadsheet newly. So in which it is going to save all the information what it has been entered. So whoever is going to fill up that particular form when they visit our business page, so all those details it is going to be get saved in this Google spreadsheet. Okay, so this is how you are going to create a report to track it. So now again you go back to the Google Forms, make sure everything is fine over here. Now how to connect this Google form to my post what I've created on my business page. Okay, so for this you have to go for send option, link account. So this is link symbol. Then shorten your URL. So you can shorten over here and you can be able to copy this. If you want to use any other tool for shortening your link address means you can also use Bitly, BITLY Bitly website, so that you can be able to shorten your URL and you can be able to add the information on your post. So now once after copying this link, get back to your Google My Business. So here after selecting the button option, so here I have to paste it, Control V to paste the link and click on publish. Is it clear, Lina, till here? And others also? Good. So now if I'm going to publish this, okay, so it is going to show like this. So when the people are going to click on this button, so for them, it is going to get open with this kind of form. So once they feed up this, so automatically it is going to show the report over here. Okay, so this is how you can be able to create a form for different scenarios, for the different concepts. You can be able to create a different Google Forms, and you can try to connect those forms to the post in whichever the platform it could be, either on the Instagram, either on the Facebook, YouTube, wherever you want it, you can be able to use with this feature. Is there anyone who has any doubt on any other options? So you can ask the question or you can type it as no in case if you have been understood with all these features. Okay, thank you for the responses. Now, once you are going to create with all this information, now you have certain options like create an ad. That means if you want to bring this business page to the people audiences in the form of ad, so you can be able to create an ad, so which is going to help you to create with the Google Ads. The next thing is get custom mail ID. So as I said, you can be able to get a email ID for your business purpose like hr@abc.com, support@abc.com. Like that, you can be able to have a separate Gmail account for your, sorry, separate email account for your business purpose. So the next option is add new business. So add new business, it is for adding another business page. That means if you have been created any, if you are running with the multiple uh, type of businesses. So for example, you might be running with the ad agency and also you might be running with the another manufacturing company, clothing company, or it could be an hotel or restaurant. Okay, so when you are going to have a business with a different categories, so in that case you can be able to create with a different business pages. So you can click on add new business, so it is going to ask you to add with your business details. Okay, suppose if you are going to run with the multiple businesses where it is going to come under the same category. Okay, for example, I may be a content writer, I may be a digital logo designer, website generator, and SEO management, social media management. So these are all the things which comes under the digital marketing. So if I'm doing with all those things, then it is considered as a one business. Suppose if I'm doing with a different variety of categorized businesses, in such instances, try to create with a different business accounts. And whenever you want to add any content into each page, you can be able to go to the option called plot on the screen. After the add new businesses, you have an option called businesses. If you click on this, you're going to get a list of all the businesses which you have been created with. So you can select that particular business page and you can be able to add the content what you want to convey through that business page. Okay, so in the same place, if you want to make any changes, okay, so related to your business status, so whether it is running, closed, temporarily closed, permanently closed, deactivate your page, anything like that, if you want to change the status, then you can be able to select with the business and there is an option called actions. So here you can be able to make the changes. So for deleting the page, you have to go for remove business. Okay, so this is how you can be able to make the changes in the status. And if you want to add any content, you can click on that particular business name so that it will go to the home page, and from there you can be able to add your content. Okay, so there are many other options like link to ads. So once you start to create the advertisement by using the Google Ads account website, so there you can be able to get one ID number, account ID number. So once you are going to create that ID account number on the ad account, so that number it is going to display over here. So that shows that your business page it is linked with this account number. The next is settings. So if you want any option to be disabled with, so you can be able to choose with the option and disable it and save it. So hope we have been covered with all the options. So you can have once again with the same options. If anyone has any kind of doubt, they can clear it. So that we shall have a 5 minutes of break and we'll be back so that we can be able to start with the new concept. Okay. So keep it ready with any questions if you have it, and we will start with the new concept after the break. Thank you all for being online. So hope you people have been understood with the concept of Google My Business. So how to create with an account and how you can be able to add the content on your pages. So if you want to check with, so you can go to the website option and you can be able to check with the view site option so that it is going to show with your contents what you have been added on that page. Okay. So the next thing is we are going to start with a new concept which is called as email marketing. So how it is going to be beneficial to us. So now when we were creating the post over here, for example, with the event post, so we were asked the people to click on this link and we have been asked to feed up with certain information. In that mandatorily, we are asking them to send, give with their email IDs. So when we are going to receive the email IDs, what is the use of it? How do we make use of it? Means whenever there is any kind of a new things we are going to come up with in our company, or if I want to talk about the products, so I can be able to share the information through the email. People will not hesitate to give the email ID, but they may look into giving their contact numbers. So very less of percentages people they prefer with the contact details. Okay, but whereas they are going to allow with their mail IDs. Okay, so when you are going to collect the email IDs, how do you send the mails? So when I go and check it out in my email box, so I can be able to get these labels which are going to be in the inbox, that is a primary inbox, social, and promotions. So when I want to write any content, so suppose if I'm going to check with this, any of the promotional emails. So let me take this. If I open this mail, you can be able to see the content which is there with the images. And if you want to add with any kind of forms also, you can be able to add it. Okay, so by default it has taken this. So let me check with another email. Okay, so where it is giving the information about their products and they are asking us to click on this action button. Okay, so is it possible to create a content in this format in your normal mail? If I go to the compose, so we can be able to see the content box. So body of the mail. So can we create or can we add an image like this and can we create the content similar to this? Can anyone respond to it? Is it possible to create a email content in the similar way what I'm received it as a promotional mail? Hope my voice.
Yes.
Okay. So it is not possible to create the content in this format because this is a template. So the templates are not available in the normal Gmail accounts. So if you want to add an image, so it will be as an attachment, but it will not be as a normal mail. Okay, you cannot add this kind of a image as a background and we cannot create a content in this way. So in such manner, so when I want to send an advertisement mail, so we are not going to use our normal servers, the mail servers, and it has also certain types of restrictions that you cannot be able to send the mails in the mass mailing concept once. So that is, you cannot be able to send it more than 50 mails at one shot. Okay, and if it is found with any commercial content, So then it is going to put it into a spamming image. Okay. So when we want to send the information about our business through the mail, we can be able to use certain third-party applications. So which are those third-party applications for creating the mail marketing service segments? So I can refer it with the name called mailchimp.com. So let me go to a website which is called as MailChimp, mailchimp.com. So here you are supposed to click on sign up for free. So add with your email ID through what you are going to communicate with. So I have added my email ID. Okay. So either you can be able to give the username or you can be able to use the same email ID itself as an username also. And make sure that you are going to follow with the password policy where it says that you should have one minimum one character with the uppercase, that is the big letter, and one symbol and with numbers. So it's mandatory. So let me give it. So whenever you are going to give the password, so make sure that the password policy you are going to satisfy it. So what happens when you are going to give with the right way of password? So it is going to show you as your password is secure and you are all set. Suppose if you are not given with the proper way, so it, below to it, it is going to say that you are not been completed with the process. Okay, so you can be able to add with the password. Then before clicking on sign up, make sure that you are going to click on this, where if you do not want to receive the updates from the MailChimp, you can click on this and click on sign up option. Okay, so now you can be able to check your mail. So there will be a confirmation mail will be sent to you, in which it is going to show with activation code, or it will ask you to click on activate your account. So let me check it out whether I have been received a mail. Okay, I have been already opened it on the other place. Okay, let me check it out. Yes. So you have been received a mail from the MailChimp. So you can click on activate your account. Okay. So let me open it in the new screen. So here, make sure that for the first time only it is going to do with all this process. So click on I'm not a robot. So it is going to take you to the next screen where you are going to give your profile information. So here by defaultly it has been selected with the free account. So you can be able to add 2000 contacts maximum, that is for the lifetime, if you are going to use this MailChimp account for the free of cost. So you can be able to add it up to maximum 2000 email contacts, and you can be able to send up to 10,000 mails for the lifetime. Okay, so once you click on next, it will ask you to enter with your profile information. So let me give with the business name. It was Digital Coach Academy. Then you can be able to give your website address if you want. So it has been shown as an optional. So don't worry, if you don't give also, it is not going to stop with this. You can be able to continue. Add with the business address. So I'll add it as Jayanagar. Bangalore. So the state, it has been taken by itself. Give the postal code, make sure the country has been selected rightly, and click on continue. So these are all self-explanatory information. So don't worry, once after the session, I'm going to send you the document to you so that you can be able to follow with that process. And there are certain things which you have to take care with. So even that it has been explained in that document. The next thing is tell us about your contacts. Do you have a list of contacts with you so that you can be able to create the mails? So I'm going to say that I don't have it. So it says that's okay. We can help you to find the contacts by creating the ads and landing pages. So let me continue with this. Then it is asking, do you sell your products or services or both? So you can select it with any relevant option. And is it for your own or you are doing it for someone else? So I'm saying it as it is for my own. Click on continue. Then do you want any updates from the MailChimp? So you can select with that option and click on continue. I have not selected any option. So I've just selected directly with the continue option. So you can be able to see that what all the things you can be able to do with the MailChimp services. You can be able to connect it with these apps. Okay, so you can be able to integrate it with this app so that whenever you are going to use this apps and you are going to make use of the post, or it could be any kind of events you are going to create with, so automatically it is going to send a mail to all your audiences who are going to be linked through this apps. Okay, so as of now, let's not connect it with this. We'll select the option as I'll do this later. Now it is asking you to create the template. So for what purpose? Is it for emailing or for automation or for website? So you can be able to select it any of this, but it will ask you to create it immediately the content. So let's not go immediately. I'll select it as I'll do this later. So the next thing is it is asking you to add the contacts. I'll do this later. And finally, it is asking create with a new email campaign. So I'm saying I'll do it later by selecting the thanks. I don't need a information like this anymore. So click on it. Okay. So this is going to be the home page when you're going to open with the MailChimp.com website. Now, what is that first thing you have to do with this? So before doing any changes, so make sure that you are going to see with all the options. So you just you don't click on it. You just move your cursor on each of these options. So the cursor, when you are going to move it, it talks about that feature. So what you are doing with. Okay. So you can be able to create the content. You can be able to create the audience list. You can see the campaigns what you are being created. You can be able to do the automations. You can be able to create the website also. You can be able to create the content in the images or video format. Then you can be able to integrate with any other apps. So you can be able to make use of all these features. Now, before sending any mail, I should be able to have a contacts list. Okay. So how do I create that contact list? I have to go for audience option. To go to the audience option, I have to just get the cursor on the audience, click on this. So in this screen, click on add your contacts, or you can click on all contacts. So by defaultly, there will be one email ID which has been listed out over here. So kindly give a minute.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. Fine. So we are going to add the list of contacts. By default, you are going to have a your own email ID as a one of the contact. That means whenever a mail it is going to be sent by using this platform, you are also going to get a copy of it. Okay. So now, how do we add our contact details? So let me go to the add contacts. There is an option called add contacts. So here you have a two options. You can select the first option, that is add a subscriber. Click on add a subscriber. click on add a subscriber option. So here you can be able to add the email ID which you want to send the mail. Okay, so I can be able to add my email ID. Example, I'll take it. My other email ID, I'm adding it. Make sure that you are going to add with your first name. See, this is as an example, I'm taking it as my own email ID, I'm taking it. But when you people are going to add it, you are going to add it the audience to whom you want to send the mail. So that person's email ID and their details you are supposed to add with. Okay, so let me take it over here. So the last name I'm giving it, and it's not mandatory to add the address. If you want, you can add it, no problem. But make sure that you are going to select with the right country. Then if you want, you can add the contact number and you can add with the birth date also. Now it is asking you to select with the tag. So what do you mean by tag? Tag means it is like a group. Okay, so now when you are going to create a list of the mail IDs, do you want to take it as a general? That is, whatever the email ID you are going to get it, you are going to take it as your email list. Or do you want to make it as a group that you want to know this email ID was been received in this particular event or with this particular post, or it could be related to any offer, at in what kind of situations you have been received this mail ID. So tomorrow when you are going to send any mails for that particular event, so you can be able to select only those people who are been part of that event. So for example, now you people have been joined to our digital marketing course. Now I'm going to collect all your email IDs and I'm going to list it out with the name as a tag that it is a MCC CEE batch list. So if I'm going to do it another batch of your college, so I am going to create that particular batch with other name. So if I'm going to have any special offer only to those people who have been attended with the digital marketing from the MCC college, with this particular batch, if I have any specific offer, if I'm going to offer it to you people, I can be able to send it only to those people who comes under this list. So that list name or group name, you can be able to create it over here. Okay, so let me create it. For example,
Sir, I have a question.
yeah, go ahead now.
Sir, so it's like we have a lot of contacts and we are categorizing the contacts into different groups through the
Yes,
tags.
yes. You can be able to categorize it, so it will be easy to you to convey the message to your particular category people. Say for example, since you people have been joined to this course, so tomorrow if I'm going to come up with any kind of a new course and I want you people to join it, so for that reason what I'll do it is I'm going to give you a negotiation of 10% discount for only to the people who have been attended this batch. Okay, so can I give the 10% negotiation or the discount to all the people who are going, no, who are done the digital marketing course? So which could be better, categorizing or you are going to make it as general?
Categorizing, because if we give it to everyone, it won't be inclusive
Yes,
of.
yes. So now I have been created one event post, right? It was in the name as SEO Pathshala. Okay, so when I'm going to post that and the people have been responded to that and I was able to get the email IDs. So I had been created a separate form and separate spreadsheet for that. So whatever the email IDs I'm going to get it through that list, I'm going to create it as a SEO Pathshala list or SEO Pathshala event list, so that I can be able to categorize MCCCEA as a separate batch and the SEO Pathshala as a separate batch. Okay, so when we are going to create it, when we see it, it will be helpful to you to make the differences. Okay, so now I'll just create the tag by clicking on this plus mark. So let me add this email ID with this list, MCCCE group. So I'll click on this. So a tag will be generated over here. Okay, now it's mandatory that whenever you are going to add a email ID list, make sure that you are going to select with this option, that is, this person has given the permission to email us. Okay, it is mandatory that you are going to tick on this option. Why? Means without the permission of that person, we cannot send a mail. Okay, it's like you are going to you might have seen it and you have been experienced it. Whenever we are going to install any app, so it will show the accept terms and conditions. Even though we read it or we don't read it, we will accept it. So tomorrow if there is any kind of issues are there, so the company can say that you have been accepted with my terms and condition. Okay, it's the same way here. If I'm going to send a mail to this particular email ID, if that person is going to say that how you are going to send me the mails, so we can say that since you have been subscribed our channel, so you have been receiving this mail. So they can be able to have an option as unsubscribe also, so that they can be able to stop the mails receiving from us. Okay, so it's mandatory to enable this particular option for them. Then whether are you updating the mail ID details, in case if you have been added this mail ID before, now you are editing it, in such case you can enable this option. Okay, if not, you can leave it blank, or if you select also, no problem. Okay, so click on subscribe. Is it everyone understood how did we add a subscriber? So let's see the list. So let me go to the manage contacts, view contacts. So here I can be able to see with all the email IDs which have been added with. You can see here, so there are email IDs and the tags. Okay, so in this tag there is nothing, means it is a general. If there is any specific tag means, so it is going to be listed in that particular tag list. Okay, so this is how we can be able to add a subscriber. Now in this group we have nearly 50 people. Okay, so now if I want to add all the email IDs like this one by one, so how much time it may take it? So how much time did we take it to create one email ID, to add one email ID contact? Approximately
5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Since we were not aware with, we were discussing it, so we took 5 minutes. So if I know about this, so how what is the time duration I can finish it?
2 minutes.
Everyone, so 2 minutes is the maximum. So if you keep on doing it on regular basis, you can do it within a minute also. Okay, let's consider your timing, that is 2 minutes per email ID adding it. So now if I want to add with 50 email IDs, it is going to take with 2 into 50, 100 minutes. So it is going to be more than an hour. Okay, so 1.5 hours it's minimum. Okay, so I don't have that much of time to spend it on all those things. So what I can do it is I can go with the option 2, that is uploading the email IDs or importing the contacts at one shot. Okay, so how we can be able to import it? So you can click on import contacts. So here it is asking you whether do you have your email IDs list in a file format called CSV. Have you heard about a file in the form of CSV format? Commonly we use it with document, that is .docx, .xlsx, that is Excel, .ppt, which is a
Word document format, right?
CSV. It is a
It's
different
a
format. Yes, ma'am. You might have seen the files where the file name will be there with the dot extension. So after the dot, what you have it, that is called as an extension. So here it is asking you to upload with the file which is having the file format in the format of .csv. Okay, so this .csv will be in the Excel format only, but it is kind of secured document. So there are no, there is a different kind of content will be added in this to secure it. Okay, so it is not possible to create it in our normal systems. Okay, you should have certain kind of a tool so where you can be able to convert it into .csv format, and to read out that also you should have a particular format. Okay, so it is commonly it will be sent by the bank people. If you are going to ask any document, they will be sending you with the .csv format only. Okay, so only certain people will be using with this particular format, but for generally we don't use it. In case if you don't have it such kind of .csv format, you can be able to have a list in the spreadsheet format. So what is spreadsheet format? Is it a document, Excel or PowerPoint? Excel, very good. So if you are supposed to have a list of email IDs in the Excel format. So for that reason only, whenever I used to create a Google form, I used to collect it through the Excel sheet. So let us go to that Excel sheet, which you have been, yesterday you have been fed up. So let me go to this and check it out. Do I have that contacts list which I've been saved it? So what you have been added with your business avatar. Okay, let me go here to the menu bar. Then here I'll go to sheets. And let me check it out. Do I have that sheet in this mail ID? Okay, so it is there. Business avatar. So lastly, it was being updated on 7th. That was yesterday. So let me take your own email IDs. Okay, make sure that whatever the content you are going to copy it from here, is it in the same format what the email chimp it is looking for? Let me check it out. So here, if I'm going to select the option that the data, whatever we want to add it, it is in the spreadsheet format. So let's select with this option and click on continue to upload. So now it is asking, MailChimp it is asking us, please keep your data in this format. Okay, so that is the first column, it is asking you to keep it with the email address. Second column, it has to be there with the first name. Third column should be there with the last name, and the fourth column should be there with the address. So this is minimum 4 column details you are supposed to have with. Okay, so let me see that it is available or not. So let me go to this Excel sheet. It is there with email address, first name. So directly it is showing with, okay, here it is last name. Okay, so let me do one thing. Give me a minute. Yeah, okay. So now I can be able to take all those contents which are there under this. So yeah, it is there from here. Okay, so let me create one Excel sheet on the desktop. And create it in the name as email list. So in this email list, give me a minute of time. Yeah. So let me add the first column name as email address. The next thing is first name, last name, then address. Okay. So this is how the format should be there. So let me keep it in the proper cell format. Now I'll copy all the contents which are there from the email ID. So let me select it, and first name also it is there. I'll copy all this. Okay. The next thing is I have to connect it with their address and the last name. So where it is? Yes, here it is. So it was there from the column number. Okay, it is 72 row number. Yeah. Let me copy this. and let me add it the address as Bangalore. Okay, so now I'll just add with all these 4 columns. Now you can be able to copy this complete content and paste it on your MailChimp website. Okay, so I've been created the Excel file which is there in the format same as here what they are looking out. The first column is email address, the second column is first name, the next column is last name, and the next column is address. So I've been created the Excel sheet and I've been formatted in that way. Now the content is it has been added, so you can see those content and click on continue to organize. Is that clear till here, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I'll click on continue to organize. Now it's mandatory here. You are going to select with the status called subscribe. Okay. Then in case if the same email ID it has been repeated in your list, so you can make it as update any existing contacts and click on continue to tag. Now, do you want to make this list with a general email ID list, or do you want to select it with the particular tag list? So I've been created as MCCCEA as the one tag. So I'm going to select with that. Okay. So whatever the mail IDs have been added, that it is going to be there in this list only. So let me click on continue to match. So make sure that everything it has been ticked as right mark. That means it is in the proper format. You can see that your mail ID it is here, first name, last name, and the address. So totally 33 contacts have been added within a minute of time. Then click on complete import. See, this is only 33 email IDs, but whereas in your businesses, you will not be having it only with the 50 numbers, only 2 numbers. It will be 3 numbers or 4 numbers also. That will be a possibility. Okay, so you can be able to add with those all email IDs and click on exit. You'll be back to the all contacts screen. So you can be able to see all the email IDs. It is going to be listed, and if you have been tagged, it is going to show under the particular tag. Is that clear to everyone till here? Is there any doubt in adding with the contacts individually or with the import of contacts process? You can let me know. Okay, fine then. So you can be able to add the contacts, then you can be able to design your pages. So how to design with your pages? So that we will discuss on the next class. Okay, if I start over here, it is going to take more time. Fine. So we will end it till today. But I want you people to take it seriously with the assignment. That is, I want you people to create with the Google My Business account. Okay. So add the contents, add the images on the Google My Business account. And you can also create with the Google Forms. You can link with it and try to create with the MailChimp account also. If possible, you can create with a MailChimp. I don't think so. It is difficult in doing with this process. You can be able to add at least 2 or 3 email IDs of your known people. Okay, so we'll meet in the next session on Monday. Till then, thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Yeah, there is an information that whatever the recordings we are going to do it for today, it will be available by the end of the day. If not possible, it will be forwarded through your WhatsApp group tomorrow. Okay, so please wait for till tomorrow. Okay, thank you all.